In this video, we will be discussing key topics in GCSE Business Studies A292. Business activity. There are three sectors to the economy: primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary, the first stage, and involves extracting raw materials. Secondary, the second stage, is where the raw materials are manufactured into products. Tertiary, a service is provided to the customers. One sector cannot produce work in another sector because all sectors are independent. Business objectives. All businesses have one or more objectives, varying depending on the size and situation of a business. When a business grows and develops, its objectives will change. Certain objectives may be in conflict. Some common objectives are maximising profit, growth, survival, growth and integration. Service. A business can grow by merging with another business, taking over another business, or by internal expansion. A business can grow or integrate in certain directions. Horizontal, same stage production. Backwards vertical, stage behind a production. Forwards vertical, stage ahead of production, or diversity, unrelated business activity. Location. When a business grows, it may decide to relocate. There are a large number of location factors to consider: cost, access to marketers, availability and access to raw materials, climate and public and private limited companies. There are two forms of incorporated business organisations. A private limited company, LTD, is a business owned by shareholders sold privately to friends and family. A public limited company, PLC, is a business which is also owned by shareholders, but shares can be bought on the stock exchange. A benefit of being an LTD or a PLC is that they can raise more capital through sales of shares. They also benefit from limited liability, meaning their personal possessions are not at stake. Limited companies pay a percentage of any profits to their shareholders in the form of dividends. Other types of business organisations. Cooperative. Trading organisations where a number of independent producers work together as they trade as a single large seller. Franchise. A market agreement that allows others to trade in the same style as an existing business. Multinational companies, a company with facilities in several different countries. Social enterprise, the name given to a business enterprise that is run for the benefit of the community, with any profits being made put back into the sole proprietors and partnerships. A sole proprietor is a business owned by one person. An advantage of being a sole proprietor is that all profits are theirs and decisions are made quickly. A partnership is owned by 2 to 20 people. An advantage of a partnership is that there is a shared responsibility. A disadvantage of both of these types of businesses is that they are both unlimited liability. This means that the owners of the business are liable for all the debts of the business and could risk losing their personal possessions. For a partnership, a deed of partnership is made to detail the responsibility. Employment retention. Workers are one of the most important components to make a business successful. A business needs to make sure that they employ the correct people for the job. The firm needs to analyse what type of person they need before they advertise the job. After they advertise and get applicants, they can then interview and shortlist them before they make the final decision. Sometimes businesses hire a recruitment agency to do this process for them. People work for many different reasons, and work satisfies many different things. Motivation is sometimes needed to help them work at their very best. Types of motivation include time rates, salary and bonuses. It is important to have motivated workers so they can help your business succeed. This was picked up by Maslow and it was put into the hierarchy of needs. Leadership styles. Leadership is about motivating others to perform well. Some of the leadership styles include autocratic. Leaders make all the decisions and expect workers to follow orders with no questions asked. Democratic. Leaders will discuss plans with workers about what to do but will ultimately make the final decision. Laissez-faire. Leaders decide the main objective but let workers decide how they carry it out. Training. Training is developing the knowledge, skills and abilities and is usually costly. It can take place on or off the job. Staff appraisal is now an important way in which businesses decide what training or workers Employment law. Labour law deals with relations between workers and employers. Many laws were designed to protect workers from employers who might treat them unfairly. The worker has the right to sue an employer if they are being treated unfairly. The tribunal can make a guilty employer pay a fine or compensate the worker. Trade unions. Trade unions exist to help represent the interests of workers and to deal with employers. Trade unions increase the power of workers because they can represent the views of other people. Unions help workers with all sorts of matters that they cannot resolve themselves. It also gives workers the confidence to speak up to their employer and take industrial action, e.g. strike. But this will cause costs to the workers, customers, business communication. There are many kinds of communication, e.g. verbal, written or images. Developments in technology are making it both quicker and easier to communicate with one another in the workplace, therefore making it more efficient, e.g. email. There can be many barriers in communication, such as language, timing, or even the attitude of a sender. Good communication will get around all sorts of business issues. Stakeholders are an individual or group of people who have an interest in a business. There can be conflict between stakeholder groups as they have different objectives. Some main stakeholders are workers, managers, owners, customers, suppliers, government, local community. Organisation charts. Organisation charts allow business to see workers' roles and responsibilities and how departments are linked together. Generally, the structure is either tall or fat, depending on the amount of layers in the business. There is a lot of terminology associated with organisation charts, such as chain of command, span of control, delegation, hierarchy, subordinates, and line of communication.